Hi, I'm James Wilkinson and welcome to the best of Wayfarer. Coming up on this week's show, we're checking into some of our favourite hotels around the world. We're going high-flying on some of the world's best airlines and much more. Let's start off the show by finding out how United Airlines is transforming its luxury offering.
We're here inside United's new Polaris Lounge at Chicago Airport, and this is a really exciting time for the company.
Absolutely. We are thrilled to have you with us today. The Polaris Lounge is a really exciting differentiator for United, and you're inside our very first Polaris Lounge that opened back in December of 2016, and since then we've actually opened 4 additional Polaris Lounges, learning all from the feedback of our customers here and the insights of our employees who deliver that great service.
And you've already expanded the lounge, even though it's only like barely 18 months old.
We have. Customer feedback has been overwhelmingly positive here. We actually underestimated the number of customers who wanted to use this and actually sought out this experience. They came to the airport earlier, they had longer layover times, and actually were looking for a lot of those amenities. And so proactively we set out to expand this lounge and introduce additional things like dedicated a la carte dining, things like that. I
noticed that actually. I mean, having a meal before you take off in a restaurant in the lounge is such a great concept.
Absolutely, and it's something that our customers said that they really valued. When you look at our amazing network that United has expanded over the last few years, you see a lot of ultra long-haul destinations coming on board. Things like Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland, and we wanted to make sure that for customers who are departing late at night, they told us they'd like to have that meal to maximize their sleep experience. Everything that you see around Polaris is built around offering you the best night's sleep in the sky. And to do that, it means that the lounge has to enable that sleep on the plane. So things like dining, showers, those are the types of things we want to make sure we do well in each of our Polaris Lounge locations.
And if you look at it, it kind of ties in with the new product on board. You've obviously got the new Polaris seats, you've got the new Saks bedding on board, you've got new dining service, new glassware. It really is changing all at the same time.
Absolutely, and from a brand perspective, we took this opportunity to look holistically at how we positioned ourselves in the market. We partnered with world-renowned firm Priestman Good to actually sit down and look at our onboard experience, look at our lounge experience, and identify how we can actually tie the dots together. So the intentionality in things like the dishware, if you look really carefully, it's actually as though if you took the United globe and opened it up, and that's the pattern that you see around every single plate, around the napkins, the tablecloths, things like that.
And it really is all key gateways, isn't it? I mean, you've got obviously San Francisco, LA, Houston, Chicago, New York, Washington coming soon with these lounges.
Exactly.
So you've got them in all the right spots.
Absolutely, and we recognize that our hub network is situated in some really big U.S. cities, and we wanted to make sure that we're offering the right amenities to our customers. As we expand our international route network, which we have actively been doing over the last several years, we also want to make sure that customers who are connecting in Chicago or Houston, for example, get that same experience.
Well, you've also announced some of the biggest expansions the airline's ever done on the West Coast, in LA and San Francisco, so that's obviously adding a lot of capacity into those markets and more premium seats as well.
Absolutely. So we are proud to say that we're California's global airline, and we offer a very large hub in San Francisco. It's predominantly our primary trans-Pacific gateway, but we've also spent a lot of time recently announcing new routes that cross over the Atlantic. So expansion into markets like Amsterdam or New Delhi, India that are coming on this year. Those are really exciting developments for us. We're also very committed to the Los Angeles market. We have several long-haul flights. Australia is very big for us, obviously out of LA, and we want to make sure that we're serving it the right way. In terms of all the new seats, we are really excited. Our customers said that they want to have the ability to have the right seat on the right route at the right time. And so you're seeing us expand the Polaris business class onto additional aircraft, and we also announced that we're going to have an even larger business class on some of our 767. So we're going from 30 seats to 46 seats. So for some very premium and business-heavy markets, we want to make sure that we give those customers the availability they've been asking for.
And you've got your new cabin, the premium economy cabin coming, which is on a few jets now.
Exactly.
Tell us a bit about this product. It's been very secretive at United for some time.
Well, done so intentionally. We learned from some of our competitors who have rolled it out before us, and so United Premium Plus, as we call it, is our entry into the premium economy market. It's identified by its premier purple seat that we have on the aircraft, and unlike some of our competitors, competitors, we really spent a lot of time to look at each element of the cabin. Things like a leg rest are small details that our customers said they really value.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of the meals and more of the food and beverage items in general lend themselves from the Polaris business class cabin, but still at the right price point for our customers. So we put it on sale late last year. We're very excited. Our first flight is coming on here at the end of March, and so it'll be our first opportunity to really get customer feedback around that product.
Yeah, it's been interesting seeing the Polaris business product around the world and seeing how popular it is. I mean, you serve some of the most long-range routes in the world, obviously to India or to Singapore out of your different hubs. So, you know, this is really ramping it up a few notches for that market.
Absolutely, and this is also our opportunity to truly listen to our customers. We're now really refining what Polaris was. Some of the things have been really positive, and some of them we're tweaking more to be a bit more market specific. In our value proposition to be uniquely united, we want to embrace that. We recognize that we have an amazing global network, some outstanding employees, and now we really want to listen to them and act on that feedback.
And how does that help them with Star Alliance around the world, opening up new Star Lounges in places like Amsterdam? That obviously helps you guys.
Absolutely, and so we work very closely with our Star Alliance partners. We want to ensure that products like Polaris also work for their clientele, and they oftentimes do the same for us. And so recognizing which markets are important to all of our customers, we oftentimes get together very regularly to have these conversations, but we also want to make sure that we're offering the right amenities, we have the right size spaces, and that the lounges are impacting our customers in a positive way.
You're also looking at boutique experiences. The LAX lounge is the newest of Polaris lounges. It's also one of the smallest ones, and it is a real boutique feel, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and it's small but mighty in our world, and we want to make sure that Polaris makes you feel like you're in somebody's home. The entire concept of long-haul travel, that can be stressful. Even for road warrior customers who fly hundreds of thousands of miles a year, being away from home, your own bed, it's never a really fun experience. The intention behind Polaris is to make you actually feel that level of hospitality that was previously missing in some of the lounge concepts.
And one thing I've noticed that you guys are doing more of now is American wines on board. I had an all-American wine list from Sydney the other day. I've never seen that on a US carrier for some time, so very impressive.
Excellent. Well, again, we're really taking advantage of this awesome market that we serve. Being California's global airline in particular, we have access to some amazing wineries, vineyards, and we really want to leverage those partnerships to offer unique products that set us apart.
Awesome. Well done. Thank you so much for having us in the lounge today.
Absolutely. Take a look around and let us know what you think.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Over in Honolulu, Outrigger has just reimagined the Waikiki Beachcomber Hotel. To find out all about it, we spoke to Outrigger's CEO, Jeff Wagoner. Well, Jeff, we're here in Waikiki at the reimagined Beachcomber Hotel, and this is one of those legendary hotels in Waikiki that's literally been brought up to a whole brand new level, hasn't it?
Absolutely, and welcome back to Waikiki, James. Glad to have you here. This property really has gone through a transformation. You know, it's a property that was on another brand, had a rate ceiling on where it could go to, and we've completely renovated with a $35 million modernization of the project.
And your finishings in here are absolutely stunning, and these are nicer than a lot of the hotels on the beachfront.
They really are. You know, we've transformed the property to be a lifestyle hotel. And when you think about that, and the company itself and how we take that on, we try to imagine each property as its own personality, its own place. So here, for example, we've done things like this wall behind us, which is by Zach Noyle, who's a famous underwater photographer. We've got flowers that are painted on the walls and all the corridors, and those flowers are called the Floors of Flora by Erin Ibarra. And she's done that based on the flowers that grow up a mountain. So on the lower floors of the hotel, we've got a certain flower that might be on the lower part of the mountain. On the upper floors, Erin has painted flowers that really are indicative of what's on the upper side of the mountain. So those types of authentic attributes really have weaved in nicely to the product.
And if you look at how you've done this product, I mean, there are a lot more lifestyle hotels in Waikiki than there ever have been ever before. This is really about adapting to what the market wants?
It really is. I think the consumer wants to see this, but it also, going back to our authenticity, we've got a hotel across the street, the Outrigger Waikiki, and in that property it's all about surfing. Duke surfed there. It's the 50-yard line of Waikiki. When you go down the street to the Outrigger Reef, it's all about voyaging in Polynesia. So really each property does take on its own life, and this one really is a lifestyle property that has its unique attributes.
Given the success of how well you've done this property, are you looking at doing similar upgrades to your other properties as well?
We really are. We're going to start a modernization at the Reef property, the Outrigger Reef. That'll probably be about an $80 million project. We've got several projects on the radar. We'll probably spend about $200 million on a total remodernization of all Waikiki and all of our properties here.
Amazing you look at this market. I mean, the beach seems to be getting busier and busier as I see it, and the numbers from Hawaii tourism continue to grow. So this is really one of the hotspots in the world, isn't it?
It really is. You know, when you think about the occupancy of the market, it's a strong market all the time. But when you look at this weather outside, it's amazing. You know, I have seen people come in here and look at their weather app day after day, and I tell them, you don't need to look at your weather app anymore. It's beautiful like this every single day.
And if you look at this property and where it is, obviously the marketplace next door has had a massive refurbishment as well. You've got some great businesses within the hotel as well, don't you?
We do. And when you think about the international marketplace next door, amazing shops, incredible shopping. At the same time, this property sits literally 100 yards from the beach. So you're not a long ways from the beach, and you've got all the attributes of some of the really nicer shopping markets that you see across the globe.
And within the hotel, you've got obviously a great brewing company too, don't you?
Maui Brewing Company is a world-class award-winning restaurant and brewing company. So great to have them in here along with the other Aaron Ibarra and Zach Noyle. But really what we've done is we've created what we call the Beachcomber Originals. And it's 12 different individuals or businesses that we use to kind of curate the hotel and figure out what this hotel should be all about. Another one is Makana. You know, Makana is an incredible musician here in Hawaii, and he was involved in helping us curate some of the music for the property. So when you think about the uniqueness of Hawaii and what we've been able to bring into the property, it creates a really unique experience for the guests.
And not just here in Hawaii, you've obviously been upgrading hotels around the world, particularly in Fiji as well. You've given Castaway a makeover in the Outrigger Beach Resort as well.
We have, and we have 6 wonderful properties out in the Asia Pacific area. Not only have we done renovations in several of those, we've got a couple more slated for this year. So a constant improvement of the brand to make sure that we're there and ready for our customers.
And Jeff, from a corporate level, obviously you've sold some of the properties off, so you're an owner-operator and you're also a manager now, aren't you?
We are. As we sold those properties, we did retain the brand on those as well as the management. And you know, it's one of the strategies of the company to go out and do that, to be able to reinvest capital, to be able to do some of these wonderful renovations we've been undergoing.
Now, if you look at your potential expansion, whereabouts are you looking at the moment for properties?
We're looking in quite a few locations, honestly. We have just gone out and said we're going to change the name of the company, the umbrella company, from the Outrigger Enterprises Group to Outrigger Hospitality Group. That just happened this last week. It really set us up nicely on the growth side. We're looking in several different locations. We're actually looking in Asia Pacific at a couple other properties. There are 2 properties we're actually looking at in Australia right now. We're also looking at the west coast of the United States, in California, and then down in Mexico on the west coast. And we could venture out from there into other locations, but we've got quite an aggressive pipeline right now of properties.
And if you look at what you've done here from a lifestyle perspective, is that a segment you really want to play in going forward around the world?
I think it is when you look at the by Outrigger brands that we look at. When you're able to marry an independent hotel, for example, with the by Outrigger tag and the ability to be able to use our distribution platforms, that is something that we look at. But really, as I indicated, each property will take on its own life based on where it's at and what's happening in that community.
A lot of that now is, I guess, a lot of consumers aren't just going for brands anymore, they're going for individual properties, aren't they?
I think so, and I think that's why you've seen this, you know, some of these collections of hotels that are all independents. The way we look at that is we can do that as well, have it be a part of our Outrigger brand and create something really special.
And Jeff, your outlook for 2019, how's it looking so far?
It's looking very strong. Actually, the first month of the year has come together very nicely for us as a company. And I was just at a conference where there was a lot of discussion about what's going to happen in the industry. And everybody's feeling very good about what's happening and what the projections are looking like for 2019.
Wonderful. Jeff, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it very much.
Coming up next, the best of Wayfarer continues. Welcome back to the best of Wayfarer. Let's head to the UK now and check into one of our favourite new hotels, the Kimpton Fitzroy, London. All right, Paul, thanks so much for your time. We're here in one of London's newest, most beautiful hotels that's got an amazing history, doesn't it?
It has an amazing history, but it is brand new. This is Kimpton Fitzroy, London, and it's only been open since October last year. But the building is 120 years old, so a great juxtaposition between the two things.
Now, an awesome development from the former owners that really did an amazing job on this hotel, from the room where we are in now right through to the guest rooms, didn't they, when they built it?
It was an extraordinary investment of both love and money over a couple of years, and 80 to 90 million pounds to reimagine what is this extraordinary hotel for the modern age.
And you're in a very convenient part of London, but you're not right in the middle of the hustle and bustle, which is a nice balance.
I think it's interesting. We're right across from Russell Square, so we have our own green zone, which is great. But over the last few years, London has been looking progressively more and more east. Obviously, Shoreditch was a hot place, still remains so. And so people are looking a little bit further east, and of course we're nicely sort of 1 foot in the east and 1 foot in the west here in Bloomsbury.
And obviously very close to places like Fitzroy, which is going through a bit of a renaissance in terms of more restaurants and bars coming into that area, and also you've got Oxford Street down the street too with lots of shopping, so convenient.
It is, everything's walking distance from here, that's a great thing. And London, of course, is such a great walking city.
Now tell us about the hotel. Like, some of the rooms in here are some of the most spacious I've ever seen in London, but impeccably designed.
We have a wonderful designer, Tara Bernard, who's done some extraordinary work globally, and it's her vision that we see here in the hotel, in the rooms, and indeed in this space here in Palm Court. And so she's respected the classic elements of the building, but introduced some lovely modern touches and used very contemporary tones to achieve what she has in a lovely residential style.
It is. It's very, very calming in here as well. I mean, like we said, you're in the middle of London, and in this room here, you do one of the best high teas, and it's just so nice and peaceful.
It is very much an escape. You step in through the wonderful entrance, into those double doors, and you leave London behind just for a moment.
And a very good bar in the hotel too.
Bar is always very important. Needless to say, quality control by the general manager on the occasion is also very important as well. Quality control checks. But it's a fabulous space. It's very sexy, like a good bar should be. A great range of cocktails in this amazing Victorian space.
How important is that in London? I mean, London's got so many great cocktail bars, and especially in hotels as well.
I think for us, it's an opportunity to join the scene at the very top, because London, like New York, really does set the tone for what cocktail bars are all about these days. And to be a serious contender, you really have to go into the market and go, okay, we're going to put everything in place, the right decor, the right vibe, and the right mixologist to make it happen.
And if you look at the hotel, it's been designed for the business and the leisure traveller. I mean, you've got very practical rooms with good desks inside them, as well as comfortable beds and comfortable lounges.
We have, but as you move around the hotel, you find that you can actually work everywhere if you want to. And that's really the key element, whether it's here in Palm Court, our coffee house, Bear & Co, sort of latte and laptop heaven in a way. It's a place where people work in very much a 21st century mode. Wireless everywhere, easy to both have a meeting, eat and drink at the same time.
And if you look at the hotel as well, obviously from a meeting standpoint, you've got one of the most beautiful ballrooms in London as well.
Extraordinary, and a little bit of a secret, although not for long, we hope, but it has its own wonderful entrance. It's possibly one of the most ornate ballrooms in the city. Of course, the hotel is 120 years old since it first opened, and many elements of the ballroom actually haven't changed in that 120 years. We now have electricity, which is a good thing. And of course, the great refurbishment of the hotel included the ballroom, but we were very conscious of the Grade 2 listing as well.
When you look at the business travel that comes to London, obviously it's such a huge market for this town, and you do have things there, like you just said, that are so practical, like the cafe or the working spaces and the comfortable rooms.
Our personality is driven by our ground floor experience, where all of our food and drink offerings are. We've got a great selection of restaurant and bars, and it really is pitched at today's traveller that actually wants a little bit of everything and doesn't necessarily need to leave the building to get a new experience, depending on what sort of mood they're in on the day.
And Paul, what are some of your favourite things in the area around here in Russell Square?
Bloomsbury is really coming to life, and the fact that it's great squares to start with, and Bloomsbury is absolutely extraordinary, the number of green zones. You really appreciate just how clever the designers of London were centuries ago in achieving this. And now as you move through little pockets of Bloomsbury, you discover great streets just that have individual personalities. Lamb's Conduit Street, literally a couple of blocks from the hotel, is wonderful. Great shopping, great wine bars and restaurants and pubs. It's a lovely little London village experience all in one street.
Shangri-La Hotel at the Shard's home to one of the highest and most luxurious restaurants in Europe. Let's go inside. Well, Jeremy, we're here inside Ting Restaurant at the Shangri-La, and you do some great modern European food with an Asian twist.
Yes, we're very lucky to be caught very much in East London. We have caught between Bermondsey Bees in Borough Market and all the produce that we have around there.
Yeah.
We have to use the Asian aspect because with Shangri-La being an Asian group, it's a sort of nod from our side into that as well.
And like you said, you've got Borough Market downstairs.
Yes.
So you can actually source a lot of produce from there as well.
We have a huge amount of produce that we source from there. We have turnips, who are a wonderful fruit and veg supplier. We have Cannon, who is a wonderful artisanal charcuterie supplier. Plus we have Bread Ahead, who make all the bread for us as well. Plus, they source all their grain as well from Brixton, which is a fantastic achievement from Brixton Mill.
Yeah, and obviously people come here, you've got amazing views.
Yes.
Obviously, but you've got to make sure that the food's fantastic.
I think that's something that we've worked really hard to achieve. It's is matching the produce and what we put on the plate to the view. It's a way of us keeping people coming back to Ting Restaurant.
Yeah, I had some spectacular smoked salmon last night, where the smoke was literally coming out when you pulled the lid off the plate.
Yes, it's something that we've worked on. A little bit of theatre as well goes a long way with helping diners with their experience when they come to Ting. The salmon that we use and the smoke that we use all come from the same forest as well, and from the same producer. So we're very lucky in that way. So everything matches in that time.
And you can get very hyper-local here, can't you, now in London, which is fantastic.
Yes, we're very lucky. Bermondsey Bees, which is just down the road, we did some aspect on the other day, just getting all their honey from there has really helped us secure the local aspect to eating at Ting.
Is that something that obviously it's going around the world at the moment, the whole it was the farm-to-table concept, now it's getting local and hyper-local.
Yes.
So it's good, you have got more producers in the area that you can rely on, they're downstairs, literally.
Yes, if we look at our cheese board and all our cheese aspects, they all come from, or they're all matured within a mile from us.
Yeah.
So it gives us that aspect of meeting the suppliers, giving them what we want as well, and then producing it for us.
Now we're coming into the holiday season very soon.
Yes.
What are some of your favourite ingredients at the moment?
The smoked salmon that you mentioned. We look at the beef that we have at the moment, which is black beef from Ring Farm in North Wales. A lot of that aspect that we use.
Wonderful. And when you look at sort of how you have the menu, how often are you changing the menu up here?
We change the menu twice per season, so we're looking at 8 times per year.
Okay.
Which gives us a lot of time, because when we change from a spring to a summer, something will just fade out halfway through.
Yeah.
So it gives us that chance to make sure that the menu is very seasonal, very local at all times.
Is that a bit tricky sometimes when you have the farm-to-table concept, where you are using smaller producers? Is it hard to use some of those small producers year-round?
Not always, not for us. No, we're very, very bespoke, and we do work with the farms that will supply us through the entire year. We're not going to have someone who can only supply us one beef a year. We're very lucky and we're very local, and we source this in quite a good way.
So here in England, is bespoke dining as a chef more challenging than it is if you go a bit more mainstream?
Yes, it is more challenging, obviously, but again, it's also fun for us. Very much. When I started cooking, the chefs were actually tied to the kitchen. Now we're asked to go out and explore and meet suppliers and go around and find things which are exciting for us to put on our plates here.
And then the guys get to have fun matching it, where you've got great British wines, local craft beer. London's craft beer scene's going through the roof.
Beer is fantastic at the moment. We're very lucky that we do work with a supplier just down the road again. So, we've been very lucky that we are caught between that Bermondsey market and that Borough market, and it makes my job a lot easier in that way as well.
Now we're here at lunchtime, and I was here for dinner last night, and this room changes dramatically. It's like having 2 different dining rooms.
It is. When you look at the natural light that we have coming in, from my side, my favourite time of coming here is dusk. Just as the sun is settling, we get a much more reactive light to us, and it helps show off our food as well. on both sides.
One of the best breakfast buffets anywhere in London too.
It's fantastic, you know, we're very, very lucky. We have a lot of bespoke produce on here, a lot of great fruit coming through our door. And again, we know who the grower is, we know everything about our produce.
Wonderful, thank you so much, Chef.
No problem at all.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Soon.
Coming up after the break, the best of Wayfarer continues. Welcome back to the best of Wayfarer. One of the best business class offerings in the sky is found on Etihad Airways. Let's check it out. When it comes to flying on Etihad Airways, it's certainly not business as usual when it comes to luxury experiences. The Abu Dhabi-based airline has a business class product that's one of the best in the market, both on the ground and in the sky. It starts with the Etihad Chauffeur service, available for eligible customers in the UAE, and it's operated by the airline's full Mercedes-Benz fleet. When you get to the airport in Abu Dhabi, you'll find a dedicated premium check-in area and a porter service that'll take your bags from the boot to the conveyor belt. Once you hit the lounge, you'll find plenty of space to both work and relax, with large buffets, a wraparound bar, showers, and a luxurious Six Senses spa that offers both quick and extended treatments. In Sydney and Melbourne, you'll find the house lounges as the home of Etihad, and they feature a choice of seating areas, airport views, showers, and free Wi-Fi, as well as television, newspapers, glossy magazines, and charging points. The house lounges also have a la carte dining, a fully tended bar, and barista coffees. The pre-flight offering is just a sample of the high-quality product you can expect on board, which comes in the form of the Business Studio, a seat that could easily be mistaken for a first-class product because it's that good. The Business Studio seats are available on the Airbus A380 and the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and have a dovetailed design with forward and rear-facing seats. It equals increased personal space, direct aisle access, and ample storage areas. Whether you're working or dining, you'll find a large and sturdy table alongside a second side table that can be used for laptops and other personal belongings. The meals on board are well presented and delicious, while you can also expect an impressive wine list featuring top Australian and international drops. When it comes to sleeping, the seat converts into a comfortable, fully flat bed of up to 6 feet 8 inches, while pyjamas are available for purchase on demand. If you're flying on the A380, there's also a space called the lobby, which the airline created by taking inspiration from boutique hotels. It's an ideal place to relax and have a cocktail in, catch a football match on the widescreen TV, or get some work done on your laptop. Etihad business guests will also receive an Aqua de Palma amenity kit that we think's one of the best in the sky and is loaded up with high-quality products. On the entertainment front, you can expect hundreds of hours of content on demand available on noise-cancelling headsets, while the aircraft are all Wi-Fi enabled. The service from the cabin crew is excellent and it adds up to a world-class flying experience. To book, visit etihad.com. One of our favourite hotels in the Middle East is the St. Regis in Abu Dhabi, where I am right now. Let's go inside. When it comes to the most luxurious hotels in the Middle East, few are as elegant as the St. Regis Abu Dhabi, which merges authentic Arabian hospitality with the classic hallmarks the brand's well known for. The St. Regis Abu Dhabi is located at the Nation Towers on the Abu Dhabi Corniche, the social epicenter for royalty and the discerning traveller. The hotel is directly connected to the Nation Gallery and Mall, and it's an ideal location for both business and leisure travellers. One of our favourite elements of the hotel is the Nation Riviera Beach Club, which is located across the road from the property and features a 200-metre-long private beach, secluded cabanas, a spacious infinity pool with a swim-up bar, and extensive fitness facilities. When it comes to the rooms in the hotel, you'll find them located between the 33rd and 49th floors. You'll find 228 guest rooms and 55 suites, decked out with luxurious furnishings, comfortable beds, spacious bathrooms, well-stocked minibars and flat-screen televisions. The rooms feature views of the Arabian Gulf and Abu Dhabi, which is the capital of the United Arab Emirates. The experience has taken a step further thanks to the signature St. Regis butler service, which is available to all guests. The butlers provide complimentary unpacking and packing, garment pressing and much more. On the eating and drinking front, the St. Regis Abu Dhabi features 9 distinctive restaurants and lounges with 6 separate outdoor dining options. Start by having bespoke whiskey cocktails in the iconic St. Regis bar. Then head to the terrace on the Corniche, which offers an international cuisine from day to night, including the brilliant Friday brunch experience. The hotel is also home to the Cabana Bar and Grill, which offers casual beachside dining, and the Crystal Lounge, where you'll find one of the best afternoon teas in Abu Dhabi. Our favourite though is Villa Toscana, where you'll find exceptional Italian cuisine and some of the best Tuscan wines in the world. The hotel's also home to the first Remedy Spa in the UAE, which features 11 treatment rooms and offers everything from facials to massages. Our recommendation would be at least 3 nights in the hotel to experience all that it has to offer. One of the most luxurious hotels in New York City is the Four Seasons Hotel downtown. Let's check it out. Well, Thomas, we're here at the Four Seasons New York downtown, one of the newest hotels in the Four Seasons network and one of the best, I think.
Thank you very much. Yes, I mean, we're very excited. This hotel was a great opportunity. Opening in New York, a new hotel where we had already one, was a wonderful opportunity, specifically in a neighborhood that meant a lot to us. You know, the growth of downtown is very important.
And especially around here, I mean, a lot of boutique hotels have been opening up around here. Obviously, the size of yours, you're almost one of them as well.
Absolutely. I mean, this hotel is probably the more boutique of the Four Seasons, you know, company with a smaller footprint, but also a very young and vibrant scene, which is very similar to what you would find in boutique hotels.
And very New York. It's a very residential feel in this hotel.
Yes, I mean, the highlights, this hotel was built to be a Four Seasons on the first place, so that's wonderful. Jabu Pushelberg did the interior design, and the goal was to really create a luxurious and contemporary surroundings that allow our guests to feel the intimacy of the space, but also the fact that it's located in Tribeca brings privacy, and it's a very quiet neighborhood which allows you to walk around and really live like a local.
It does, doesn't it? It's got a lot of restaurants and bars and cafes around here as well, which makes it even more appealing.
Absolutely. Most of the New Yorkers live in this area. This is obviously a place where you walk around and you get your coffee, you have your favorite lunch place, and you have plenty of restaurants. And definitely among the best restaurants in the cities are downtown.
You're also only a 15-minute walk over to Brooklyn as well, so location-wise, it's quite good to get around as well.
I mean, it's wonderful. People forget that Manhattan is an island, and you know, being at the peak of the south down, you can literally walk 10 minutes from one side and 10 minutes on the other side from the hotel, and you are actually by the river. On one side you have the Brooklyn Bridge, which is obviously a great and very famous activity to do just to cross, and then you have access to great venues and great restaurants in Brooklyn. But also walking on the other side, you get to Seaport. Seaport, very well known now. We have Pier 17, which is, you know, just developed last year, and then brings also great elements with 3 new restaurants with a star Michelin chef, one of them being Jean-Georges, the other one Danny Chang. But it's just the growth. Downtown has become the epicenter of the culinary movements. Wolfgang Puck came open here, Nobu next door, then Tetsu just right there. Just there you have your Michelin stars. Danny Myers just open, and Pier 17 with the 3 great Michelin chef.
Very much a thriving area of Manhattan, and you've also got the helicopters just around the corner as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you could literally go to the airport, take an helicopter here, and then have a 5-minute drive, which our guests have been doing.
Very easy way to get to JFK on the quad here, isn't
that's
it?
the best, and even to the Hamptons, if you will.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of beautiful suites in this hotel, and it's one of the many highlights here.
I mean, the beauty about our hotel being built to be a Four Seasons, it was elegantly designed in order to have 189 rooms, including 28 suites. The beauty about downtown also is that around us, we don't have high-rise buildings, so most of our rooms have a great views that can look towards the Oculus, towards Soho, toward East River, river, so you really have a lot of lights and it's bright. And then the Abu Pushaberg was really concentrating to creating a residential feel. It doesn't feel like a cathedral, big hotel, but you know, straight away you feel first the energy and the vibrant welcome from their employees, which in my opinion are the best. They look at every single client and they connect in a very meaningful way. So when you enter in the hotel, there's no way where you feel there's not something special going on.
Yeah, and it's obviously that team knowing the area so well. We were just talking about the area in the hotel, and they're all very knowledgeable as well.
Yes, and I think they're also very excited about working here and being part of the revitalization of downtown, which we know has grown so much. So it's something exciting. And furthermore, you know, when we look at the hotel, we brought Wolfgang Puck, which is one of the most famous chefs in the industry, very well known in America, started in the West Coast, and he has his first contemporary restaurant with us, which is Gut, a steakhouse.
Such a great restaurant, and it's one of the many things in here you can do in the hotel. You've got a beautiful indoor pool as well.
Yes, we have the entire third floor is dedicated to wellness. It gives us an incredible space to really cater to our guests, not only the ones staying in the hotel, but our neighbors as well. We have one of the best spa in the city with, you know, affiliation with very high-end products. We also have a beautiful pool, 78 feet long. So it's really a place where you can not only relax, but also train. And we have also a dedicated space for fitness. So, you know, it's a very large area and all surrounded by bright daylight, which is obviously being on the third floor.
And views of the Oculus from the pool as well.
I mean, absolutely. The entire hotel 360 offers great view no matter the floor you're in, because we don't have the proximity of the buildings around us.
Yeah, and if you had to choose 2 or 3 favorite things about the hotel, what would they be?
I mean, you know, my most favorite things is, you know, being able to walk around and meet the employees. You know, they always find a way to connect to the guests in a way that is really interesting. There's no transaction. It's really a human, genuine touch. Obviously, you know, we talked about the spa. It's a must-go, absolutely, to try. Wolfgang Puck restaurant being the best contemporary steakhouse in the city. It is also, you know, a highlight. And then, you know, all our rooms are different. They have different views. Every guest really enjoys discovering them all, and our suites is really the highlight of them.
So how important is it having a restaurant of that caliber in this Four Seasons hotel?
I mean, for us, it's very important, and we could have chosen to manage the restaurant ourselves, but we wanted to affiliate to the best. And Wolfgang Puck is known to be probably the most interesting, the most talented, and has great vision. And, you know, his contemporary steakhouse is by far the best.
They do a very good breakfast as well, don't they?
They're taking breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I think, you know, even on a Sunday they do a brunch that is incredible.
Yeah. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for your time and having us in this beautiful hotel.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for visiting.
Cheers.
Coming up after the break on the Best of Wayfarer, we're taking you for a tour of the Eternal City. Welcome back to the Best of Wayfarer. Let's head to Rome now and go for a walking tour of the Eternal City. Fulvio Bonus's company Imago Artis has been taking tours of Rome for over 20 years. Today he is showing us some of his favourite things to do in Rome if you've got a few spare hours in the city. Starting off by how all Romans do, with a coffee.
Ciao James, welcome to Rome. We are in front of the best cafeteria in Rome. Well, I would say the best coffee in the world. This is here since 1938, and as you know, Italian are addicted. You know, we have a huge addiction on coffee. And let me tell you, this is my 4th one. I'm gonna have at least had 4, 5 coffees, you know, with you probably. The coffees are good because it's just very intense, you know, very short, you know. It's not, well, don't get me wrong, I'm so sorry for the American. It's not American, you know, it's not dirty water, we call, but it's very strong and it wakes you up, you know, and the taste is delicious. Here, the taste is completely different than other coffee shops because the ingredients are secret. That's what makes this place more appealing, you know, more interesting. This is my first stop. Every day, you know, walking around the city centre, this is my first stop.
Now let's walk to one of the city's most iconic sites, the Colosseum.
Back in the old days, you know, it was used for entertaining, to keep people away from problems, the Roman problems for sure. Now we call wrongly this place Colosseum, but originally it was called amphitheater. The amphitheater means two theater placed one in front of the other one. That's how you get the famous shape still using nowadays in every stadium. Your Majesty, behind me, was built for the first time, was inaugurated 80 AD. But it was not inaugurated by the men who strongly want to erect this building, Vespasian. It was inaugurated by his son, Titus. The focus, the goal was keep everybody entertained. But how can you entertain almost a million people, a million citizens? You keep this place open. They keep this place open for 2 to 3 months every day. Then. Almost every Roman citizen could come and see the show, the very big show, such as gladiator games, wild animal games. He made wild animal coming from Africa, import to Rome, and showcases to the spectators inside the Colossus, the Colosseum. Has been changed. The name has been changed into Colosseum after the colossal statue placed in front of one of the 80 entrances. But careful, because the statue depicts Nero, and Nero was the previous emperor, passed away as a damned person, as a horrible emperor.
No journey to Rome is complete without a visit to the holiest city in the world, the Vatican.
Well, we are in a different country. Guess what? We can see two countries in one day. 2 countries in one day. This is the second one is the Vatican City, the Pope's country. Since 1929, this became a state, a country run by the Pope, the Holy Father, the Holy Pope, who represents the new St. Peter, the current St. Peter. We had 266 Pope till now. The last one is Francis I. Francis I, an excellent, a brilliant Pope from Argentina. Well, everybody says from Argentina. I'm Italian, I have to say he's from Italy. And he's Italian 100%. Well, we are over here embraced by these fantastic columns, realized by Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the inventor of the Roman Baroque. And up above the columns, we have 140 saints. The Basilica is the biggest church ever built. It took 120 years to have this done. On the left-hand side of the Basilica, we have this brick building, very simple, honestly. That is the Sistine Chapel from outside. Inside looks grandiose, inside looks incredibly decorated in fresco by Michelangelo and other people, of course, not just by Michelangelo, but outside looks like a fortress. Probably that's what it was supposed to be, a fortress to defend and protect the tomb of St. Peter. Because don't forget, behind underground, the Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica, we have Peter's tomb, the original tomb of the closest man to Jesus by the 1st century AD. You can see the dome. The dome has been realized first, and then the Basilica after all.
Over in Paris, you'll also find boutique luxury at Hotel Le Roch. Let's go inside. Thanks so much for your time today. We're here at a really beautiful little boutique hotel in the heart of Paris, aren't we?
We are in the best one. So thank you for staying with us. We are Le Roch Hotel and Spa in Paris, just actually the new kid on the block in Paris, to open 3 years ago in July 2016.
One of the most envious locations in all of Paris for any hotel, really, isn't it?
It is. We are located in the first arrondissement, so right close to the Louvre Museum, not far from the Tuileries Gardens and the Opera Garnier. So this is a place to stay for shopping, culture, and even gastronomy.
Obviously great for business travellers as well as leisure travellers, isn't it?
Yes, because it's a quite nice boutique for fashion, and so everything is walking distance. So you don't need to have a taxi, you don't need to take the tube, just walk and enjoy the city.
Now this time of year, Paris obviously coming into its own. It's a beautiful time to visit the city, isn't it?
It is. Springtime is one of the best time to visit Paris. Yes, it is.
And you've got a great little outdoor courtyard up here attached to your restaurant. Tell us about the restaurant.
Yes, the restaurant, we have 46 restaurants, so we are part of Design Hotels, and the idea was to bring culinary experiences into the boutique hotel. We have a nice garden area, a patio, so you can enjoy lunch, dinners and breakfast into these areas.
And if you look at that, how important is that? You're a very small hotel, but it's important to have that food and beverage, isn't it?
It is, because we're talking about experiences. So yes, you can have a nice hotel, but it's good to have a nice food, nice drinks, and we even have a pool and a spa, so you can enjoy the well-being experience.
And some of the most stylish rooms, I think, anywhere in Paris in this hotel too. So the design's a huge element of this hotel, isn't it?
It is. So we work with Sarah Lawrence, who's quite a great designer. She's opening a lot of boutiques in Paris, design boutiques, and design now is part of the experience as well. Yeah.
So tell us about those rooms. I mean, obviously, you know, Paris is notorious for having these tiny rooms, yet you've made these rooms spacious and look great.
We only have 37 rooms, and the smallest one is actually 21 square meters, which is great for Paris in terms of size. And for example, we have as well five suites, including actually indulgent suites. And there's something very special from these suites is they include your own hammam. So after half a day of shopping in the Faubourg Saint-Honoré, you enjoy your own hammam with a glass of champagne.
That's wonderful. Now, what are some of your favourite things in the area to do around here?
Oh, just walk, as I said, just walk. You can enjoy a nice walk around to the Tuileries Garden, stop for a nice coffee in the Palais Royal, for example, and then just walk around, going to Place Vendôme, enjoying the boutiques and the jewelry boutiques.
Over in Singapore, you'll find one of the tallest craft breweries in the world called Level 33. Let's check it out. Emmanuel, we're up here at Level 33, the highest microbrewery anywhere in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it certainly is here at Marina Bay.
What are some of the favourite beers that you guys do here?
Look, the one that is, without a doubt, the most, the biggest crowd pleaser is our lager. It's a beautiful German-style lager.
Perfect for obviously the climate here in Singapore too, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Super low hops and really delicious light flavours.
So you're a craft brewery with a great restaurant as well. Usually you go to a brewery, there's just a brewery, but you've got some great food here as well.
Yeah, we certainly do, and also a killer view. So we've got an amazing chef from Melbourne, Australia, and she's got an amazing resume, Chan Chan, originally hailing from Hong Kong, with some really beautiful culinary history in Melbourne and a little bit of time in Sydney as well.
So tell us about the menu here.
The food is probably best described in Australia as being modern Australian. Up here in Singapore, we'd probably call it modern European.
What are some of your favourites on the menu?
My absolute favourite is the sea bass. We've also got a brewery burger that we do as well with some amazing beef in it, and then obviously also our Australian beef.
There's not too many places in Singapore where you've got an outdoor terrace as well, this high up, with amazing views of Marina Bay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. One of the amazing parts of this brewery, just over to my right-hand side as well, is looking over onto Marina Bay Sands and looking into the amazing Marina Bay, which is a focal point of the city.
And if you look at sort of Marina Bay itself, I mean, the best place to see Marina Bay is actually not being on top of Marina Bay Sands.
Yeah, that's right, because you don't get to actually see it.
Now, you had the Formula One here a couple of weeks ago, and obviously one of the best vantage spots in town. So obviously, this really is a great all-occasion venue, outdoors, have a beer, and just take in Singapore. Yeah, look, it certainly is, and it's also unbelievably accessible because we're open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. And we welcome everybody to come up, even if they just want to come up, have a single beer, take some photos, and then head on to their next destination. What's been the craziest beer you think you've done here since you've been here?
The craziest beer that we've done was a beer where we used champagne yeast from the Rothschild champagne house from France. And we did a beer where we used the yeast that they sent over. And the Rothschild family were very interested to hear about the outcome as well. So really an amazing brew, and hopefully it'll make a comeback next year.
And people do come here for the wine as much as they do for the beer. You've got a great wine list, don't you?
Yeah, we certainly do. We've got a little bit of Old World, and you know, very proudly, we've got some great Aussie and Kiwi wines as well.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure, mate. See you soon.
Well, that's it from us on Wayfarer. Thanks for watching our 1 hour special, and see you next time.